Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope everyone had a great week, a great month, I don't know. But welcome to a new video. As last week I promised to make a new guide video. I hope this is the very last guide video that I have to make about Conqueror's Blade. I don't want to split this up or into multiple videos. There's a chance that could happen, but of course I don't. I hope it does not happen. So, today's video I'm going to talk about these people. These are just some of them. There's also more, like these are all the people that are around the cities. These people are in every city, in every major city, but also in every town, small town, everything. But mostly I'm gonna talk about these four in particular right now, and later I'm gonna talk about the rest of them. So let's first start with the most simplest of these four, and that's the battling officer. What he does is literally, as you can see right here, thank heavens I almost done for the day. He has some quests for you to do. These are mostly data quests. When you start the game, you also have different quests, but we're not gonna talk about the quests because they're always very easy or not hard at all to understand or to find out. But these four right here, or these three right here, open barracks will literally bring you to the barracks inside of your own personal space. You can see which kind of characters, which kind of units you have unlocked, and which ones you have bought. Nothing special really. When you go to the unit training, this is the third one in the row, you'll just get, you'll be transported. If you click on yes, you'll get transported to a new map where you just get a unit and they will explain to you. This is like the tutorial that you can get in the first 5 minutes when you start the game. You'll get this as well. They will explain to you how to control a unit, and I explained this also in a previous guide, so if you don't know how to control a unit, just check that guide out. But it's really easy. Just X is to position people, C is to follow, make the guide follow you, or the unit follow you, and V is just tell the unit to attack. No brains, just attack. So that's everything real quick. So, and then you got the supply dump, and this is just all of your stuff that is in your cart, everything that's in your inventory, like in-game inventory, like this right here. I got this in my inventory. I can put that in the supply dump, so the city will hold these items for you. So if you have like a cart full of like resources, you can dump them here, and that's it. If you have an inventory full with crap that you don't want, you can also dump it here. Of course, there are things that you cannot dump, and of course things you of course want to dump, but that's a thing that you can find out for yourself. Then these three, the refinery officer, unit weaponsmith, and the artillery craftsman, are actually almost three the same people. They're not, of course, directly the same, but the unit weaponsmith and the artillery craftsman are like you can do things with the resources that you can get or that you can refine from the refinery overseer. So we're gonna talk about the refine overseer, which is when you interact with him, you can, well, he's just gonna say good day to you, and you can have only one option, which is refine resources and materials, where you can just refine everything that's in your wagon or in the supply dump by resources. You can refine them here, like you can get better resources, even better resources. You can refine everything for a certain amount of a certain amount of materials you can refine. Let's say now this is fine fabric, which is raw cotton, and you also got this, which is really expensive. It's all it's all expensive. You can see you need thief level 5, and you also need a certain amount of silver. So every time you use this, just keep in mind it's gonna cost money. It's gonna costs, and you need to have the thief at a certain level, or else it's not gonna work. So you can refine these materials. You can get copper, you can get hide, you can get wood, you can get stone, you can, you know, iron, cotton, all of that. Of course, you can get uncommon, rare, and epic resources. But with these resources, you can spend these on the unit weaponsmith and the artillery craftsman. The unit weaponsmith is just with the refined resource that you refined at the refined overseer, you can use them in the unit weaponsmith to build unit kits. Only a certain amount of unit kits can actually be made by this guy, and sometimes these unit kits can also be different in every thief. So let's say you can only get here like range units. Let's say you need to get range kits. Let's say you need to get a passive crossbowman kit. You cannot build them here. Maybe in another city with a certain amount of thief level, but you cannot just get the resources at the refinery overseer and then just create it a weaponsmith. I can show you right now. Everyone ought to understand that we have been fanning the flames. So you can go to the create unit kit. You can see this is the kits that you can build here. With a certain amount of resource, I can actually build these levy crossbowman kits. I don't need them. But again, you need to see, okay, you need to have a certain level of thief and a certain amount of silver. So I can build halberdiers kits, but I cannot build get the sergeant halberdier kit. So if you have halberdiers and you have a lot of materials, you can just create your own halberdier kits and you don't have to buy them. But you still need the resources, which cost a lot of money, and you also cannot, if you have the Sergeant Halberdiers kits, you cannot build them here. So, and this is the same with this one. Dem's Obelisk kit. Well, it's cool and all, but oh, you can actually get the crossbow. Oh, actually nice. So yeah, you can build your own kits, but again, see the Dem's Spear Sergeant kit, but he doesn't sell the Sergeant Spearman kit, which I especially need. So I can build these like for nothing, but I cannot get the right kits that I want. So keep that in mind. Also you have this artillery craftsman, which are literally just the same as the unit weapon craftsman, but yeah, and you can just build nice animation. You can just build cannons. These are only in standard edition. As you can see right here, I can not go for legendary, optimal, that kind of stuff. So you can not get the best of the best artillery, but you can build your own artillery whenever you want. So if you run out of artillery and need a new one, you can just get the resources, have the silver, and you can get as many, you know, cannons, grape shot cannons, ballistas, arrow launchers, Scorpios, or Cleverins as you want. You just need, again, the resources and the silver. So I explained to you, like, okay, so you need materials to be able to even make kits or artillery, but how do you even get materials? Well, that's the first point, or that's what I want to talk about right now. When you go to the map, by pressing M, you can go to, this is the map. Well, you know, everything in here is thieves. You got villages, you got cities, you got forts, you got cities, everything. So every town or every fief that you can see right here or here, depends on where on the map you are, you can get resources. As you can see here in Kotu, that's a weird name, I'm not gonna pronounce it. In Hebo, you can get a certain amount of resources. You can see right here, there's a copper mine, another copper mine. This is a kleptorite copper mine. This one is a denite copper mine, and this is a marble quarry. And you here have over here you have a pigskin tannery as well. If you have this fief under your control, or not, you can you don't have to, but when you have a you can collect these resources and refine them in the cities, as I explained before. But the funny thing is, when you're in a house or in an alliance or that kind of stuff, you can also take over these fiefs during territorial wars. These are on Tuesday and on Saturday at 8 PM Central Time. You're able to attack any fief you want with your house, your alliance, and take over fiefs. So if you let's say you're just a random house in the game and you want this fief during a territorial war, you can take it over. Of course, the territorial war needs to be a non-drill mode, but you can still take over this fief and it will be yours. Of course, what does that mean? Well, when you take over a fief, when you're in the area of that fief, your supplies will be resupplied, so you don't need to worry about food. But you also have a certain power over these resources. You can, as you can see, the tariff. So this the payment that you need to give to be able to gather these marble this marble. You need to have, you need to be level 10, you need to have a unit, and you need to have food. We also need to pay 9,000 bronze, and you can only do it once per day. So, but you can also up or down this number when you have the fief, because when your own house, you can tax it. You can tax these resources. How does that work? I don't know exactly, because I've never been a fief leader, nor have I ever taken over a fief as an independent house member or as an independent house, so I would not know. But all I know is that you can tax certain aspects. So you can, inside of your fief, you can tax your enemies, so people that are aggressive towards you, and the game knows that they're aggressive towards you, so then you can tax these hostile players or this hostile house or hostile alliance for a certain amount. So you can say, oh, the hostile people, I don't want them collecting my resources. I'm gonna up the tax by, let's say, 100 or maybe 300%. So instead of 9,000, instead of paying 9,000 bronze, the enemy have to pay, let's say, maybe 1,200 or 12,000 bronze, or maybe even more, maybe 15,000 bronze. You can also do it for friendly people. So if you have an alliance with another house, you can say to them, "No, you know what? I'm gonna down the tax by, let's say, 50%. So you only have to pay 50% of tax. So then probably the 9,000 can suddenly become maybe only 10,000. So they still have to pay a certain amount, but it's almost, it's less bad for them. And of course, you can also tax your own people, but of course that's an asshole thing to do, so don't do that. But you can also tax your own people. So during territorial wars, they can be taken over by you or by an enemy, so watch out for that. And you need to pay a certain amount of money to be able to even get the resources. And you can tax a certain people if you want to, even if you hold the fief. So that are the major things inside of the game. So getting resources, turning them, refining them, turning them into beautiful kits and artillery pieces. But you can also use there's also other people in this town, which are the War Scholar, the Sheriff, the Warden, the Battling Officer, Master at Arms, Watchman, Hall of Fame, Town Courier, the Unit Weaponsmith, the Refinery Overseer, and the Artillery Craftsman, the Smith, the Armorer, the Artisan, the Auctioneer, the I don't know, a magic guy, a potion guy, a siege engineer, wholesaler, and a smuggler. I explained what the some of the four of them already, but I explained four of them already, so I won't go over them again. But I will go for the other one right now. So the War Scholar is literally just excavation. This is also the X right here on the map. So you get over here, you can use certain things you can get from rewards. You can use them here to get doctrines, and these can be used to unlock units or signiums. You can use them to unlock units or give units that you have already unlocked a certain amount of experience boost, and doctrines to upgrade or give the unit a certain buff, like more armor penetration or more piercing damage, that kind of stuff. You can also do salvaging, which is literally all the doctrines that you have, but then salvage them down for reuse, so you're able to reuse them. You can see here you can salvage your stuff and then use them to get a Golden Era Signium box, which is okay. And you also can auxiliary units, which is just use your certain amount of points on a unit, and you can use them for a certain amount of days, hours in game. So you don't have to pay for these units, but you don't have them forever. You got here the Warden, which is he just brings you to the Thief quest, which are literally get a certain amount of stuff and give them to us, and you'll get a reward, which can be honor, experience, house experience, and some prestige, and that's it. So you got a lot of pine timber and you want to get rid of it, this can be a good idea to do. Sheriff is just literally quests and match battles, which will just bring you to match battles. Is literally just pressing J in game will literally do the same thing. So the sheriff is just literally a quest giver, a daily quest giver. So yeah. You also got over here the Sage Engineer, which is literally the artillery shop is by the artillery that you can also build yourself by the guy that I just showed, and exchange artillery components, which is just you can also get these components as rewards, and you can, if you have a certain amount of them, you can exchange them for a box, and in this box you can get a random artillery unit. So you can get a grape shot cannon, or you can get a normal cannon, or it's just a loot box. That is, it's just a little box, but then you can only get uncommon artillery pieces. So yeah, you can do whatever you want with that. You also got the Hall of Fame, which is just not a person, it's just a wall. You can just see where you're ranked on the leaderboard. So from every player there is, you can rank there's a certain ranking. You can see that here. I don't really understand it, but go ahead and check it out. Open career panel. You can that's just pressing P and then going to career. You can see your achievements, how many battles you did, how many victories you have, how many kills, average, that kind of stuff. And you can go to the beautiful message board where you can just leave, a message that everyone can see. that's it. You can also check out the Chronicles, Thief Treasury. You can get again, you can see the quests, and you can see a certain overview, what you can create here, that kind of stuff. Local resources, that kind of stuff. Oh, and here you can also see over here what kind of tax there is. So non-house players, you can tax them a certain amount. You can tax the friendlies or neutral players, and hostiles for you. The members, you can tax them as well, but that's just, you know, your own choice. And you got over here, you got this lovely gal, which is just dye your hair a certain color for a certain amount of silver, migrate to another fief, or return to your camp, or say something in the world chat, nothing special. The wholesaler, get horse armor for a certain amount of bronze. You can buy mounts for a certain amount of bronze. You can also go to riding school. Again, this is a tutorial thing, so do whatever you like. So if you want to do riding school, go ahead, but it's just the tutorial, so if you don't know how to use a horse, then please use that again. Then you got over here a very lovely boy, which is the smuggler. And he is very, very bad because he only sells these things, which can be used to create a armor. Not good armor, but it can be used to create armor, and you can also expand your personal storage, which is okay, but if you want to spend that amount of silver, go ahead, but I'm not gonna do it. So smuggler is not really useful in my opinion. And also you got over here the man-at-arms, which is again, go to training yard. It's just the tutorial again, and unlock skills is just by pressing P and then going to skills, and then you can get to the same tab. So this guy is also sort of useless, except when you need to do the tutorial again. Then you got the others, last 5 people, which are the armorer, which is just get the worst weapons in the game, or when you're like a new guy to the game. These are pretty good for you, but for me they're pretty bad, so don't use them. Hero armor, again, this is for starter people. Later in the game you don't want to use this because they're very bad. As you can see from me, everything is really bad. Then you got reconditioning. This is when the endurance of your equipment, so your armor, can go down the longer you use it, and you can recondition them here, so the endurance will go back up, but you can lose you can lose its quality, you can use its attributes, certain things can change. So is it worth it to use it? Maybe. You just need to be lucky that the stuff doesn't disappear, or the attributes or the quality doesn't disappear on your equipment. You got Smith. Smith is just create your own armor from, you know, the stuff. I always go for the Polar Axe. Polar Axe is pretty good. But also these things cost a certain amount of gold dust, that kind of things. You can get them by these things. You can also get them by salvaging them. Just salvage your let's say this stonebreaker, and you can get a certain equipment back, and you can again use these for creating your own new equipment, but you have to worry or have to look at for some equipment you need schematics, which are not easy to find. As you can see, this one you need a Punisher Polarax schematic. I have 3 of them, or I have more of them, but these are not that easy to find, nor are these powder silver or these things, so watch out for that. And then you also got saddlery, which is just also equipment for your horse, but then you also need schematics for them. So then you got this one, the Artisan, which is just give your equipment a certain aesthetic. As you can see right here, this is how I look right now, but I can make it look like this. So if you don't want to look like, you know, if you don't want to look this helmet like this, you can use this one, and then you can change it. Of course, what you need to do is you need to attire salvage, and then from this you can actually get the attire from it. So you need to salvage certain things to even be able to do that. So watch out for that. And also you can get a mercenary attire chest. I don't really want to get this either, but it's all up to you. Then you got the town courier, which is just when you get a present from someone or from the game, you can get them here. Nothing special. And then you got the last guy, which is the auctioneer. This is just the in-game shop, which is just sell your stuff or buy some stuff. Like I want this shield, I can buy them here for 50,000, or you can buy resources if you want as well. But again, that's totally up to you. And then the last person is this one over here, and that's just to get out the thief. And that's the most important one in some cases, which is the watchman, which is literally be able to transport resources, and you will be able to leave the thief, get units that you want, take 5 artillery pieces with you, and you can put a certain amount of just a certain amount of stuff in your wagon to take with you, like this wall-made mortar stuff, or your inventory. So yeah, I hope you learned a little bit more. I don't think I will split this up into a 2 video. This is just the last video that will be made on Conqueror's Blade, so I probably will just be making or other guides on other games, or I'll just be making normal gameplay videos on Conqueror Blade maybe next week. I don't know what I will do next week, but I hope to see you guys all there. I hope you have a good week, a good year, I don't know. Just have a good day, and I hope to see you next week.